Joining me now, Olympic Media Managing Editor and Editor of the Daily Caller, Katie Frates. Good to have you with us, Katie. Washington Times Opinion Editor, Charlie Hurt. Good to have you with us, Charlie.
Good evening, Lou.
Good evening. Let's start with the health care bill. I've talked with Steve Forbes. I've talked with Betsy McCoy, both extremely knowledgeable people. They are so beaten down by this exercise, Katie, that they're willing to say, let's take it to conference. What do you think?
Well, it is kind of disheartening to know that for the first time in a very long time, Republicans control all chambers. We have the Senate, we have the House, we have the presidency, and somehow we seem incapable of getting anything done. We can't even bring something up for discussion because we're too busy fighting with ourselves in back rooms. I want to hope something's going to happen, but as of right now, it's going to be pretty embarrassing. Dems aren't going to have a hard time campaigning on this if we control everything and can't seem to get anything passed.
Charlie, why is it that the Republicans cannot find, well, I don't know how to put this correctly, how is it they can't find their way out of this into a position of leadership?
Yeah, and it goes back years. I mean, all of the times that they have passed legislation in Congress repealing Obamacare, knowing full well that it would not go anywhere, it turns out that was just a joke. They had no plan whatsoever to actually seriously address this, because now they could do that, and I wish they would do that, and just do that alone and walk away from Obamacare and let the insurance markets, let the marketplace fill in the gaps and fix itself. The government doesn't belong in this area.
Instead, according to this legislation and that of the House, they really want to support, subsidize, if you will, insurance companies instead.
They're going to get killed for that. They will get absolutely killed.
And they're keeping Obamacare taxes at the very least, and keeping the mucked-up Medicaid mess alive. Katie, I mean, there's just no way the Republicans survive this in the midterms, is there?
It certainly doesn't look good. And the question is, how did this suddenly become so complicated once you were in power? They had no problem passing stuff, as Charlie said, that we knew wasn't going to go anywhere when Obama was in the White House. And now suddenly things are so murky and difficult. It makes you wonder if they really ever thought they were even going to get the chance to repeal, and they just used it as a nice, fluffy campaign promise.
And I want to turn quickly, if I may, do a quick pivot here, if I may, to the President Trump, guest of honor of the nation of France on Bastille Day. The last time that happened was almost 30 years ago as President H.W. Bush. A tremendous honor for the president, an extraordinary event. His third foreign trip, major trip. His foreign policy, Charlie, is working. His charm offensive is working.
It was a tremendous success, and I thought what was most interesting about it is when he had that press conference where he gave that really a soaring speech about the history of human freedom and the history of the alliance between the French and the U.S. And then what are all the questions that the press asks him? They're all asking him about this ridiculous Russia
people
thing.
In the room at the same time talking about Russian dressing.
Yes, exactly. And it was I thought it revealed so much about the press, but it also put him in a very, very good light.
Absolutely. And Katie, I love the fact that otherwise intelligent, well, mostly intelligent colleagues of ours in the national media, they are pursuing this nonsense with those 8 people undescribed and not necessarily quantified or qualified to be in the room. And it's as if the future of the Republic were hanging in the balance. Give me a break, Katie.
Well, the next thing I'm expecting from them, honestly, is going to be a breaking news banner saying that there was also a dog in the room. I mean, who knows where this is going to go from here? But I will say it's not really the best look to have a drip, drip, drip story like Hillary Clinton had. We know it didn't work out for her, and it's not going to work out for Trump very well either. So they do need to nip this in the bud. But I don't really think it's going to affect things like health care or anything else Congress is working on very much.